We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the SP 500 index, continuing to push up higher and coming closer to a key resistance level of 403 and breaking back above 400. Now, within yesterday's volatility, our SPY bot sent out a bull indicator, and from that moment forward, the inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside, full strength there on 42 vision, and call options went up 100% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of our growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with the SPY pushing up higher, back above 400. We're going to talk about what's going on here with 42 vision in the inflow versus outflow. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunities that were mentioned yesterday morning over at the Discord. So the home run of the day was spectacular, beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market and receive this edge and clarity of the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. And by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the home run of the day was from our Tesla bot. Our Tesla bot sent out a bull indicator at 9:45 a.m. And from that moment forward, inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside with full strength there on 42 vision. And call options went up 300% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge over the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with the SPY doing a complete transition on 42 vision from white with red borders to bright green from the 17th to the 18th. It pulled back down to red bars, found support, double bottomed, and has pushed back up to a rip area here. And we've been talking about how it seems to be overextending here, not just on the 30-minute, but also here on the 1 hour as we see it, right? Full transition here so far. And if it's your first time coming across the channel, white with red borders is what we call the dip area, and bright green bars is the rip area, and we call those the dips to the rips. And from the rips to the dips, we can see the weakness and strength, right? Extreme strength up here, full transition down, full transition up so far from the dip to the rip. And we need to watch this very carefully. Will it reject or continue to push up higher on multiple time frames? And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the bull and bear indicators in the inflow versus outflow, which add that extra layer of confirmation, and you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility and the charts. So here we are with the SPY under a bull indicator since November 22nd here on Tuesday with a bull indicator, and the inflows had crossed the day before when things were trying to pick back up on the 21st, right? And you could see that there, used it as support, bounced off of it, and has continued within the volatility to have these inflows dominate and pull away from the midpoint, right? And here you could see how the outflows were beginning, but we're still above the midpoint, and it didn't destroy the chart. And as soon as these inflows picked back up, it popped back up. Outflows tried to dominate again, slight pullback, found support right around the same opening area where it ran, bounced off of it, and the inflows picked back up again. And as long as we stay above the midpoint, there's going to be a continuation of strength in this chart, and the bull indicator has not been canceled by a bear indicator. And going into Friday, I'm going to be watching if these inflows continue to hold above the midpoint, or are they going to bring themselves back down, and what are the key levels I'm watching of support and resistance. We're going to break that down in just a moment. So here we are with the 1 hour as well. The inflows crossed here on November 22nd, which was Tuesday. You could see that full strength there, and it's been under a bull indicator since down here at 394. And right now the inflows have hit highs so far of 6.6, 6.1 area, right in that area. and it's trying to actually hold itself up above the midpoint, but outflows have appeared, right? But we're still above with inflows at 4.5. That is going to be significant to watch. Is it going to hold itself up, or are these outflows going to continue? And once it gets closer to the midpoint or crosses through it, it could start to significantly impact the chart. That is going to be very important because the last two times that these outflows have crossed, we have seen things sit sideways or pull down very quickly here, like it did on November 15th, crossed over, and it fell from way up here at 399 to 390s. It wasn't a huge pullback because the inflows reappeared, and it's been fighting within the volatility to get back above. And officially, this has been the strongest move back above the midpoint on the 1 hour chart with a bull indicator and full transition from dip area to rip area. And we're watching this very carefully here as these outflows are starting to pick up, even though we're still above the midpoint. Now, in the 15-minute, within the volatility, you could see the big spikes to the upside and downside when there's been weakness or strength. And right now it's under a bull indicator, but these outflows are getting really, really close to the midpoint. If it crosses back down, I'm going to be watching that very carefully because as we've been running upwards here in the last 3 days, right, you could see that these inflows have dominated. But when we've actually pulled downwards, these outflows have dominated with significance over the chart, keeping it below it and keeping it going in a downward direction. So right now, there's lots of volatility and the bulls and bears are fighting here within the 15-minute time frame. But right now, it's above the midpoint, but the outflows are getting really close. And I'm going to be watching that if it pulls downwards or if it can hold itself up. And on the 30-minute, depending how the 15-minute reacts, it could either hold it up above the midpoint or bring it closer to the midpoint and eventually getting those outflows to dominate, and it could start to affect the 1 hour as well. So the first thing I'm watching going into tomorrow, Friday, is the support down here of 399, guys. If that gets broken through, the next support is down here at 397 to 396. I'll be watching that very closely. And if a bear indicator in the process pops up that cancels out this bull indicator, that's going to be significant. And how these inflow versus outflows react. Do we stay above it or bring ourselves down to then test those support levels? That's going to be critical. And if it's pulling itself down, will it find support before it crosses below the midpoint? Because once it does, it could affect the charts very significantly, right? Now, to the upside, the first resistance is 403. We've talked about 405, and above 405 is 410 to 412. We've broken that down in multiple videos, and I'm going to be watching if these inflows can continue to pull back up, stay above the midpoint on the 30-minute, and also here on the 1 hour, as we're currently right now at 4.51, and the highest points that we reached were above 6, and the most highest recent one was way back here on November 10th, when we did a full transition from the dip to the rip, followed by a bull indicator and inflow crossover. We went all the way up to 15.7. So based off the history of the chart, if these inflows stay above the midpoint, there's room to go higher. Not guaranteed to move exactly the same, but something to keep in mind and watch. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.